evening, everybody, and welcome to the 331st edition of Talk of the Town. I'm Ken Bukes, and I'm going to be the host tonight. Karen's taking the night off. She had a beach meeting or something that she had to go to. We're coming to you tonight from PAC TV studios in beautiful Plymouth, and with new addition tonight is all this new HD equipment that we have here in the studio. Hope we're doing the right thing with putting up some really good pictures for you. Jimmy's working hard in the control room with Dustin, trying to make sure that everything is perfect for tonight's program. So first up, we have underwriters. They are Kevin and David Gallerani from Cape Auto Body and Service at two downtown locations, one on Somerset Street, the other on Sandwich Street. Be sure to go in and say hello to David, if he's ever there, or Kevin. He's always there. Make sure you stop in and say hello. Oh, wait, that was a shout-out. I wasn't supposed to do that. I'm sorry. The other underwriter is Wrestling Brewster from Brewster PC Solutions in beautiful downtown Plymouth. Well, not quite downtown, but wrestling knows what I'm talking about. And we also have One Stop Painting, Jeff Cohen. Great job, Jeff. Great crew. Did a fabulous job. Karen is really tickled with the job that you've done, and I'm very satisfied. Next up, we have Trifletti and Costa, Stephen and Alan on 124 Long Pond Road, also in beautiful downtown Plymouth. You can follow Talk of the Town on Facebook and on Twitter. I haven't tweeted yet, but I'll be doing that in a few minutes when somebody else is talking. But before we get too far into the program, Karen has a little bit of a message that she wants you to pay close attention to. We'll catch you on the other side.
But right now we're going to take out a couple of minutes because a dear friend is here, and he's here to talk to you, give you some great information about the Plymouth Education Foundation. Please welcome one of my dear friends, Bob Betters. Hi, Bob. Thank you so much for coming in. And you know, you can come here anytime because I happen to so respect the Education Foundation and what you do. It is a great thing that you do. But you tell us what's coming up.
Well, I'm happy to announce that the 4th annual Valentine Gala for the Plymouth Education Foundation, which is our primary fundraising event, is scheduled for Saturday, February 8th at Waverly Oaks Golf Club from 6 to 11 p.m. So I want to thank you for the opportunity to talk about the gala, and you've been very generous with your time and to the foundation, Karen. We greatly appreciate it.
Anything I can do, Ken and I so respect you, your board. They do such great work. Now, Kenny and I were able to come to one of those Valentine galas, and oh my goodness, I can't say enough about it. We were all dressed in our best. It was in a beautiful location, you know, the Waverly Oaks Golf Club. The food was fabulous, the people were great, and the venue. You raised a lot of money.
We did, and we've been lucky that it's sold out for the past 3 years, and we expect that it'll sell out again this year. It really is a great night. It's live entertainment, it's dinner, it's dancing. There's a silent and live auction. Tickets are $75 per person or $550 for a table of 8. Reservations can be made right on the website, which is PlymouthEducationFoundation.org, or the telephone number for the Education Foundation. You can leave a message there, and we'll get back to you regarding tickets. That's 508-747-8212.
Right. We had such a wonderful time, and I will say, along with the movers and shakers of the town who were there were a lot of people just like, you know, Kenny and I that just wanted to contribute whatever we could, and Was it the schools that came in and videotaped?
I believe at one of the first galas they did.
Yes.
Yeah.
And our good friend Jeff Cohen bought a whole table.
Yes. Yeah.
And it is just a wonderful function. But tell me, you have a very special award.
We do. Adele Manfredi, who I'm sure everyone in Plymouth knows, was one of the founding members of the Plymouth Education Foundation. When she passed away, we created the Adele Manfredi Excellence in Education Award. This is the third year that we're honoring someone with that award. Obviously, Adele exemplified commitment to education and commitment to community. So we try to pick a person every year who falls into that category and emphasizes and exemplifies those traits. This year, the recipient is going to be Dinah O'Brien, who's the director of the Plymouth Public Library.
Wonderful choice.
Yeah, and we all thought that was a great choice. It was a unanimous choice of the board. I spoke to her on Monday, and she was so surprised that that she should be honored. But she definitely deserves it. And you know, two of the, I think, primary components of this country that make this country great are public libraries and public education. The two go hand in hand, and they both deal with educating folks. And I think I think her role in this community is a great one, and she should be honored.
Absolutely, I agree with that 100%. And Dinah O'Brien is very unassuming.
She is.
She does a lot of work quietly.
Mm-hmm.
And she's contributed a great deal to this community over the years.
The other thing, if I may, we've been very fortunate this year with a number of sponsorships, but our primary sponsor and the event sponsor is, again, this year, Rockland Trust Company.
Good.
So I really want to thank them for their continued support and being the major sponsor for this event again. So, you know, thanks for the opportunity to be here. I hope that people, you know, will purchase tickets, can always send in a donation, even independent of attending the gala. But again, reservations can be booked right on the website, PlymouthEducationFoundation.org. And the phone number again is 508-747-8212.
Bob, just a little bit, tell everyone what the foundation does.
Well, the foundation was established to provide educational opportunities for students, for teachers, for programs that would not otherwise be funded by tax-based revenues. I mean, obviously, there's been a budget crunch that municipalities have experienced, particularly over the last 5, 6, 7 years, which makes, I think, our role much more pronounced and much more important. But what we try to do is to provide funding for situations that are important, but cannot otherwise be funded. Some of the grants, for example, that we've given this year, we've given out 2 scholarships. One, the Culinary Arts Scholarship to a culinary arts student from Plymouth South that Karen, you and Ken were most influential in terms of setting up and raising money for. There's an Abadi Scholarship. The Abadis were Adele Manfredi's parents, who Adele had given us money that her parents had left for scholarships. We've given a $1,000 scholarship every year that we've been in existence under the Abadi Scholarship name. A grant to Plymouth South Math for iPod technology, grant for purchasing of musical instruments. Those are just a couple of examples of the types of things that we do.
And anybody can give their monies.
Absolutely.
And it will be managed, and if they designate certain monies to a certain function, that's where it will go. That's
where it will go. You can, depending on obviously the size of the donation, we can put restrictions on it that can be used for specific purposes.
Yes.
But yes, you can donate money for specific uses or specific purposes.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now say again, when is the gala going to take place, Bob?
It's Saturday night, February 8th, from 6 to 11.
Yeah.
Waverly Oaks Golf Club.
Oh, I wish you the best, and please, people. If you can, please go. You won't regret it. It's a wonderful, wonderful venue, and you'll be helping your hometown. Thank you so much, Bob. You're welcome here anytime.
Thank you again, Karen. I appreciate the opportunity.
Give my best to your board.
I will.
Thank you.
Okay, now my job is done. I did what I was supposed to do. I hope that meets with your approval. You know who you are. All right, next up, I have a little bit of something I need to talk about. This is a 501c3 that's doing something wonderful here in the town of Plymouth. Just happens to be a friend of all of us here sitting at the table tonight. By the way, I'm joined by two of my friends,
Amigo.
and I can call them friends. This is the Amigos show that we're doing tonight. You recognize Mr. Oregon over there, Mr. Grandy. I told him no suit coats. So this is the way he shows up.
It's jammy.
And yeah, he's wearing his pajama bottoms too. I'm trying to get him to stand on the table so you can all see.
That's not happening.
And then my trusty friend, Wrestling Brewster. But anyways, bring it back to me for just a minute. We have the license plate issue here in the town. And it's the license plate for the 400. And if we could take that now, Jim, please. This is the deal of a lifetime. If you want to help a 501c3 Plymouth 400, the 2020 committee, I can't recommend it. I can't tell you to go there. I can't tell you to do it. But maybe somebody else can. Cape Auto is giving away the license plates if you go in. Well, wait a minute. They're giving away an oil change. I'm sorry.
With a license plate.
With a license plate. And it ends up costing you, the consumer, when all is said and done, and when you bring it all, it costs you $2 is what it costs you. Everything still goes through the regular procedure. You still get you still get the form from the Registry of Motor Vehicles, but you do it all at the counter of Cape Auto. You make out the paperwork at Cape Auto. You give them the check for $40. They process the paperwork. They get it to the registry. You get a $38 oil change for free. You pay for the 40 bucks for the plate, so it ends up that it's $2 oil change, a $2 license plate, whatever you want to call it. It costs you $2, and your money goes to help 2020 and the town of Plymouth,
Which is a 501.
which is a 501c3. So I'm really not doing a commercial. I'm just giving a shout out for a 501c3 not-for-profit. So we got to help this out. We only need 300 more of these to be done. You'd go down, you'd get this paperwork. It's an application for a Plymouth 400 license plate. You would stop at the counter at Cape Auto, make out the paperwork, give them a check for $40. They'll hand you your receipt, and they'll hand you your coupon for your free oil change. Or maybe if you call in advance, you can have the oil change done while you make out the paperwork. It's only going to cost you $2. Make sure you help out this worthy, worthy, worthy cause. You need to do this. And you know, the offer's going to end soon. So, and by the way, if you want to order a special plate, you have to get in touch with Cheryl at Cheryl Soares, the administrative coordinator at 134 Court Street in Plymouth, and she'll take care of if you want to order a special plate. But that won't be according to this deal unless you work that out with the people at Cape Auto Cape Auto Service. So come on, let's get behind this, folks. It's time to get this done. It's been 7 years. And how long is it going to take to sell 300 license plates? 1,200 plates in 6 years. Come on, we can do this. I've ordered mine. When are you getting yours? Okay, I'm getting off my soapbox. Gentlemen,
Oh, you're calling us names again. Oh, boy.
welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your busy lives to come here tonight and talk about whatever it is that is bugging you.
You don't have anybody that bugged you this week?
Yeah, fill me in. I missed the
I know.
I really can't talk about it, Tim.
okay.
I get a lot of flack for it, but well, I'm not going to talk about
No,
it.
don't talk. Don't.
It has to do with a business here in town of Plymouth that lost
Had less
my
ink
business.
than you did.
Yes,
They had less ink.
and they're going to get less business.
That's right.
From their actions. But anyways,
We had a great discussion about customer service.
customer service is the most important thing.
That's right.
Most important thing. Now, there are so many issues that are up and coming here in the town, aside from the 400 license plate,
The 501c3.
the 501c3
That's right.
license plate.
That's right.
But what I want to know is, I know what's on his mind. I know what he wants to talk about. I don't know what you want to talk about.
There's a lot of
And
things
I
that come
promised you that you would go first up tonight.
Because you were
Because you
on
didn't
stuff.
come on last week because I wouldn't let you go on first. Last month, rather.
Are you thinking because I didn't show up?
That's why you didn't show up,
Yeah,
yeah.
because you weren't going to go first.
Because you weren't going to go first.
No, that's not true.
Your suit was at the cleaners.
Yeah, come
My
on.
s- No,
Talk to the
my brother's
Goomba.
suit was at the because I borrowed his on.
Come on, talk to the Goomba. What's on your mind, buddy?
Well, why don't we talk about? There's a lot of issues we could talk about.
Well, let's go.
Let's talk about the latest in single stream recycling and trash.
Okay.
It's going awesome.
All right. You're up.
Myself, my wife and I do the 2 containers curbside pickup, and we are down to just 1 bag of trash a week.
One.
1.
Is it a 15 or a 30?
Here's a 15.
Wow.
Wow, you. Wow.
What, are you out back burning this stuff?
No, it's 115. 115, and the rest of it is all recyclable. As I was telling Wrestling earlier, that my wife wants me to jump up and down on the 1 gallon jug of milk to squish it to make sure we have enough room.
Well, you
the
will find
recycling
that if
bucket.
you wanna run your well water, you know, and you put a little bit of warm water in that milk carton,
Yeah.
and then you empty it out because you're supposed to clean out the containers before you recycle them. You are then able to lay it on the counter and flatten out the counter. Flatten out. I can't hear you, Jimmy. You have to come closer.
I'm all set.
Okay. So if you warm it up a little bit with tap water, then you can fold it, and it takes up less space. And then put the cap
Learn
back on.
something new on Talk of the Town.
Every day. Did you do that when you had your headlight on?
This?
Yeah, that.
He dared me to do it. He dared me.
No, he didn't dare you to turn it on.
He didn't dare you to blind me.
Well, the town's really gotten behind this. If you talk to JB says we've gotten over 5,000 people to sign up for it. They're really liking it. Once it started and started rolling, people thought it was easy. Didn't realize how much they could save on trash by recycling more. I think it's wonderful how the town's really getting behind that.
Oh, I think it's fantastic because my wife and I, again, we always went to the transfer station and did recycling anyway.
Right. Yep.
But it definitely saves the trip of fuel from South Plymouth to either Beaver Dam Road
Yep.
or up to Long Pond Road.
It's only Beaver Dam Road now, buddy.
Excuse me?
It's only
Now, I
Beaver
know,
Dam
in the
Road.
past I'm talking about when I
Right.
used to make the trip.
Right.
But that was always a fun trip, though. I mean, I'd pass you, you'd pass me, and we'd wave, or we'd stop and
Call the finger.
have coffee, or whatever, you know?
If I want to wave to you, I can do it from FaceTime on my iPhone from home.
You want to FaceTime now? No, okay.
And ABC's got those great trucks that are cleaner for the environment. They're not those big honking trucks that you throw the stuff in the back. It's pretty
Right.
cool. My son was saying, he was watching it the other day, and the arm comes out, picks up the stuff. They've been doing a great job. I thought that they really picked up on the customer service that we were talking about, but during the storm, I'm a Tuesday pickup, and because Monday was a holiday, that moves everything down.
2 days.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it was supposed to be Wednesday, and the big storm hit on Wednesday, and I called Melissa, and I said, hey, is somebody going to say, that since there's a storm, it's going to be 3 days? And ABC called in the afternoon and said, due to the, they had a recording, due to the storm.
Message,
yeah.
yes.
I thought that was awesome. I really was I was excited to see, them go that extra distance. That was really good.
Hence
really good.
customer service.
Right.
And we go back to my experience with customer service in a local business, and we aren't going
don't
to
go
talk
there.
It
about
wasn't a 501c3 though.
Oh, okay.
No, that wasn't a
So you can't talk about it. You can't talk about it if it's not a
All right,
501c3.
we
Anyway,
won't talk
my
about it.
experience with it has been fantastic so
Yeah.
far.
You guys were on the pilot program, right?
Yes, the pilot program was absolutely a fabulous program. I'm having a little bit of difficulty getting used to this. Every other week is solid waste. Every other week is
I know.
single stream.
Yeah.
And if my wife wasn't taking care of that stuff, I wouldn't know.
Right.
I really wouldn't know.
Right.
I totally missed the last pickup because I was all messed up.
Discombobulated.
Yeah, I was all messed up.
And I think if they start looking at it and doing a little research, once we've got a year under our belt, they might go to it every week with the recycling. I think they're going to find that there's more recycling stuff than the solid waste stuff.
I find the single stream to be a little bit confusing.
Why? You just put it in the bucket.
Yeah, but it's confusing.
I hear laughter in the background.
There's laughter. Laughter. The man behind the curtain is laughing.
He finds put it in the bucket
Yeah.
confusion. It's not Kentucky
No.
Fried Chicken.
No, it's like if you look at the stuff that ABC sent you,
Yep.
it says that you can recycle a cardboard box, but it can't be a pizza box.
Oops.
Yeah.
Well, it can be a pizza box as long as it's not the greasy. It's not all greasy. You can
Okay,
still recycle it.
so you're confused too then.
No, I'm not, because I take the circle part that's greased and I put it in the trash.
But
and
what
the
if
part
it
that's
bleeds
not
through
greasy,
into the cardboard
then
box?
you can't.
You
can't throw it away.
That's what
correct.
I'm talking about.
Right.
You know,
I'm not confused.
See, I'm not confused. I just put it in there anyway.
But I was impressed when I went over to Beaver Dam Road, and I noticed that they put in another bin just to recycle shoes.
Oh, yeah.
There wasn't one there before.
They did a great job over at Beaver Dam Road.
Oh, they've done a fabulous job. And I think this works well because, funny story, I look, we're on this thing, with the trash pickup, and I always said to Karen, because she loves to send me out to pick up stuff on the side of the road, we get the cleanest corner in town until I talk about it, then somebody goes by and throws trash out. But
On our way home tonight.
Right.
the other day, I looked out on the lawn, and it's a pair of sneakers. What do you do with them, right?
Well,
So now you can.
They didn't fit.
Well,
There's still some people that are inconvenienced by this, though, right? Isn't there? At least
Of what?
those of us that have to pick up another person's trash are very inconvenienced by this. Yes.
No, I'm talking about people that still want to go to a transfer station.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and people from the northern part of Plymouth have to go further because they used to be able to go to
Right.
to the and
Long
you can
Pond
see,
Road.
yeah, you
Yeah.
and well, one of the things that was said was we got to close Long Pond. That's not an option whether we go to curbside or not. So, but there are some people that are a little unhappy about it.
Right.
Now,
Can't
My
clean-
understanding is
can't
that over in Manamet, all the compactors have been moved.
You haven't been to the new Manamet?
No.
Oh, you got to go.
Over in Cedarville also, they moved the compactors that were down
stuff
there.
from Cedarville and the stuff from Long Pond got moved down to Beaver Dam. What's up, Jimmy?
His mic needs to come over this way. He can't hear it.
He is in the bowl.
Yeah, they totally redid. Let me be over here for a second. They totally so keep the television on. they totally redid
Mr. Argon.
Manamint so that and they took the out and the in and switched them.
Yeah,
because there was so many accidents coming out of
Stevie
there.
and I have always been very vocal about that. Stevie was the first one that brought it up, that when you exited Beaver Dam Road,
Can't see a thing.
that fence in the way, you couldn't see a thing. You'd almost get the front torn off your car.
Right.
Now they've taken care of it. That's in itself a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, you can become part of this conversation. It's not just going to be the three of us. It's 508. Well, there you are over there. This new stuff. 508-830-3971. David, if you're out there, let's
he
talk
always
about
calls.
this 501c3, David. So now,
Do I get to move on to another topic?
I think unless you got more that you want to talk about in the trash, because I know he's biting at the grip. He wants to talk about something.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
Really?
And that's amazing because he usually doesn't want to talk about much. Only kidding.
Let's
Only
talk about the
kidding.
light he had over there.
Well, we can vote him
This
down.
like, this like
That's
here,
right.
he wants,
This is a democracy, right?
yes,
right.
it is.
So if the topic that he picks, we could always vote him
Yeah,
down.
we could vote him down.
Right.
Yeah. We could put it on the ballot.
Put it on the ballot.
on the ballot.
Put
Oh,
it
that
on
might
the
be part of
ballot.
the discussion that he
That's
wants
right.
to
That's right.
have.
Put it on the ballot. Put anything on the ballot.
All
Bring
right,
it to the
wrestling.
people.
All right, wrestling.
What do you want to talk about?
Let it rip.
With a lead in like that.
Where's that spotlight?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, wrestling, you're on.
Somebody please take the light away from Ken.
I know.
I didn't turn it on.
I know.
All right, wrestling wants to talk about the 1820 courthouse. And I think it's a viable, very good topic. I know that a lot of you sitting at home watching television would love to put your 2 cents in on this topic. There's a lot of good ideas floating around town. I've gotten many a phone call from people that I know and respect very much. They're talking about what they would like to do to make this courthouse happen in the downtown. I'm of mixed feelings. My wife knows that. But, you know, if it's going to work, I'm willing to support it. And on that note, I'm going to give it to my friend,
Don't give it to me.
Mr. Brewster.
Don't give it to me.
No,
So who brought the topic up? Was
Yeah,
it
he brought
wrestling?
it up.
Mr.
He brought it
Brewster
up.
wanted it brought
I
up.
think he
But
brought it up.
I didn't say that. I think the biggest thing that this topic, the courthouse, is that I don't think there's a lot of people that think it's a bad idea. I think most people support the idea of moving Town Hall over there. I just think that the large topic is how much it's going to cost and where that money's coming from. Because that's what I've heard from the people around town is, well, yeah, it sounds like a great idea, but that's a lot of money, and where is it coming from? And when you're talking, you know, $100 extra a year to a taxpayer that's having a tough time, and you're looking at an economy where you look at Warren Avenue, for example. There's 11, 12 houses for sale on Warren Avenue because people can't afford to live there anymore. And you really, you know, Plymouth has a problem where we're very short-sighted, and we have to start making decisions for the long run, where we have to look at the long run and say, all right, you know, is it going to be too expensive to live here? And we have to look at that.
All right. Can I respond now?
Yeah, I hope so.
I will. There was a lovely young lady at the combined selectmen's meeting. She was a former teacher.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, did you watch it or were you there?
Oh, yeah, I would watch it.
And she supported it wholeheartedly.
Yep.
And I think when you talk about long-range planning, you have a facility now that's not serving the public properly, correct?
Yep,
You also have a facility with no parking.
yep,
It's a complete nightmare when the school across the street gets out.
yep.
So you also have a facility that is not up to current day standards as far as access and codes are concerned with the Massachusetts State Building Code.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's inadequate for the amount of people that are working in there currently. So eventually, when you look at long-range planning, you are going to have to build a new town hall or move to a different location.
Yep.
And if you wait 10 years at an escalation of 3 to 4% in the increased cost of construction, that $35 million can turn quickly to 50 to $55 million.
I see where you're going with that.
Okay, so it's like when you're running a business, what is the return on the investment? And we open up the discussion, it's a great debate to have. When you invest your money, if you're an investor, you want a return on your investment, correct?
Right.
So if we're going to invest $30 to $35 million, are we going to get the return on our investment that we want to receive?
Right.
In my estimation, I think it will. I think it'll revitalize the downtown. It'll be more foot traffic for the downtown from that facility.
Monday through Friday.
That's okay. On the weekends, when there's other functions going on, those parking areas will become open for tourists, et cetera, et cetera. So I think we need to look at everything and have a debate. And that debate has started now, which where we did not have this debate in the past, when it was strictly, they were looking at a private-public relationship, trying to find an investor to invest in the property, and this went on for 4 or 5, 6 years, whatever the case may be. So now it's going to be up to, obviously, town meeting, and eventually maybe it'll be decided that it goes to the public on a ballot question.
Right, and I think that the reason I bring it up so often is I think that we should have these discussions. I think that you need to separate the facts and what we want to happen. The facts are we have to move Town Hall. The facts are we've got the big courthouse that we need to do something with. The question is that the right fit? Are we taking that square hole and putting a round peg in it? Or are we
taking a round peg and putting it in a round hole?
Right, exactly.
Right.
So you bringing up the fact that we have to move Town Hall, okay, is it the best option to bring it there or put it somewhere else?
I think we've already looked at what the cost would be, according to David Peck, who's on the building committee. They looked at buying a piece of property and building a similar facility at a different location, and the costs were equal, if not a little bit more. So that exercise has been done by the building committee or David Peck, who is the chairman of the building committee.
David Peck did a study, and
yes or no? Because that question was asked when I'm on the consortium, the courthouse consortium, which we haven't met in a while because they have this new group looking at the building itself. Until it's decided by town meeting on which way it's going to go, the consortium hasn't met in the last month and a half due to the lack of quorum or whatever the case may be. But those questions have been brought up, whether we should include the 3 houses in the center, create the corridor around the whole thing and the area, which is a fantastic idea. It's a vision, and possibly moving the downtown to a different location. And how much that would cost. All of these questions have been asked and will continually be asked until the final answers are received.
Right, and this is just what the public has been asking me is you know, okay, you know, it seems like we're going for the really primo spot, which is going to cost us a whole bunch of money. Couldn't we get something next to the on Obery Street? Couldn't we use some of that property that we have over there?
That sounds familiar.
I think he brought that up a couple of times. A couple of people have brought it up.
Yeah?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Really? Would you like to expound on that?
No, we've also heard about selling other properties to augment the potential costs, right?
We know that they shouldn't be in the real estate business. They haven't been
We're
able
in
to
the real
sell
estate business.
the Water Street building yet. They still haven't been able to sell that. How many years has that been? Water Street. It's not Water Street. It's the water building on Long Pond Road.
Long Pond Road, right.
I mean, Auto Fair Honda used it for how long? To store cars.
Right. So my question to you is, you talk about revitalizing downtown. So we're going to have a building that is accessed by GQ Public Monday through Friday. Do you feel, and this is a question that I keep getting asked, do you feel that people are going to come downtown, go to town hall, and then go and use downtown, or are they going to come downtown, pay their bills, and go
And
back
leave?
home? Yeah.
Well, it all depends on how the downtown looks. If I come pulling in, not to pay my taxes, if I go down for some reason, the clerk's office
Yep.
for some reason, and I know there's some place downtown that I can go shopping, and it's only within 2 blocks away, I'm going to walk downtown.
I hope so.
So don't I.
But it's...
You might get a ticket, though.
You're
Why
talking,
would I get a ticket?
If you're walking downtown, you got to park somewhere because you live in the Netherlands.
Right. He's going to park
live
in all
in the
those fancy
Netherlands,
dancy
the
slots that
Neverland.
we're making.
Well, you live over in that little sliver.
If I'm going to make a 30-something mile trip
Yeah,
to town hall,
yeah.
and I can walk to do some shop. Right now, you can't walk from. I can walk across the street to the school.
But you got to find
Or
a
you
town
can go
hall.
to the sandwich shop and get a sandwich.
Maybe.
Alley's.
Why don't you?
Oh, yeah, everybody's got to go to
Because when I'm there, I'm in a
Alley's.
meeting. By the time I get out, that
Alley's
sandwich shop
got
is
great
closed.
food.
Right. But my point I'm trying to stir the conversation for, what you're saying is, if we
All right,
build
let me
it, they
stop
will
you
come.
right there. Go to any vibrant downtown. What is usually there? To augment it.
To augment it?
Yes.
Usually gift shops.
Government center, town hall.
In a big city, you would. In a big city.
Not in
No,
Rockport.
no, no.
Rockport it's not
No.
in Rockport.
I'll guarantee you 80-90% of it, of them.
I just have
the
a
town
hard
hall
time.
in the government center is involved in the downtown.
But you said if you go to town hall, and it depends on how downtown is looking.
Correct, because when we start right now, there's just nothing but a lot of bars down there.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
Which
a lot
are
of
making
bars.
money.
Okay, they're
Which is
making money.
Making money.
So downtowns change,
Oh, it really has. It really
right?
has.
It can change the other way. And how do you get it to change the other way? To bring in more businesses,
We
Yep.
got to
bring in
stop
shops.
making it look. To me, it's awful seedy downtown. To me, it looks like
Oh, yeah.
Potterville downtown.
Yeah.
It really does. And I think you need to get rid of that element in the downtown. That element would be, yeah, we're a restaurant. We're not a bar. We serve family. We take care of families. To me, that's a lot of BS because they all become bar rooms. And then during the summertime, you pick up the paper. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to get away from the courthouse thing.
No.
But
This
you
is a
pick
good
up the
conversation.
paper and you read the paper. So and so got stabbed. So and so got robbed. Not too long ago, somebody got robbed at the ATM
Yeah.
in downtown, right behind the club.
Yep.
They pulled a knife on the person using
Yeah.
the ATM machine. I mean,
The Red Bank.
come on.
Yeah.
Well,
The question.
that's a matter of enforcement and doing a better job as the owner of the establishment.
Yes.
Right?
And the downtown committee works really hard on that. But the thing with downtown that I get this a lot. The thing with downtown is we have a bunch of bars. They're making money. They're full every night. We've got to get something else coming into these shops. But how do you do that? If everybody who's coming in says, "Hey, I can make a buck if I do a bar. I'm not going to make it a buck if I'm making a quirky shop." Tea Room went out because they couldn't make a buck. That's the problem. Is right now the thing that's making a buck downtown is bars.
Look at Chris. Chris's shop was downtown
Yep.
for what, 8, 10 years,
Yeah.
12 years.
Yep.
She had to close because
Yep.
she couldn't augment.
There was
She
nobody
couldn't
coming to the
supplement.
shop.
There's no
Nobody coming in the
business.
shop.
The candy store was across the street
Yep.
from Chris.
Yep.
Closed, bang, gone.
Right next to
No.
the tea
Right
shop.
next to the
Now,
tea
let
shop.
me interject for a minute. Before the courthouse closed, was there people coming to her shop?
Yes.
Yes. And
Before the courthouse closed,
their doors and moved.
And before the registry closed,
Oh, yeah.
before the registry closed and before the courthouse closed, there was
Right.
plenty of business.
So when was the registry in the courthouse open? Monday through Friday,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just heard him say, Chris Pratt,
It's a
Chris's shop.
different time back then, though.
If you bring the government center back, be in town hall Monday through Friday, right? You're going to get the people to come back. to the downtown.
Well, I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
Right?
Somebody's
In my
waving at
estimation.
me.
Somebody's waving at you?
What I'd like to say is that when the registry of the deeds was open in the courthouse,
Yeah.
it had a lot of people coming here who, if they go to the registry of deeds and they're going to research a title, they're there for hours.
Should I put a light on him?
Yeah.
So they're going to buy lunch, they're going to, spend money downtown. When the courthouse was open, it had a lot of people from out of town waiting to have their trials, waiting to have their hearings. So that's when, they were stuck there.
Well,
So that's why they were
you're also
using-
going to have people come to visit the courthouse, which is supposed to be open to the public for
Only
viewing.
during tourist season.
Excuse me?
They're
Only
only going
during
to come during tourist season.
His point, Steve's point is that with the registry of deeds and the courthouse, yeah, people were there and that was vibrating downtown, whereas the town hall might not.
I think it
Because-
still will.
I'd be interested, and I'm having a hard time figuring that out, whether it will or not, and I have a hard time seeing if you look at who's in town hall now. Allie's Galley is doing an okay business, but she's not doing a great business.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where we really have to look at it, and I think we need to get the public involved. in
Let's put it this
discussion.
way. We had 5 years of an empty building,
Yep.
right? We could potentially have another 5 or 15 years of an empty building.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you could have more bars and restaurants. in
Oh,
the downtown.
I agree with you. I
So
think we need to do something
We need a new
with it.
town hall, and through what Mr. Peck has said, like I say, lead is lead. Let's lead, and let's look at this and have the discussion. Although it's going to cost money, I understand, and believe me, I'm not that far from retirement myself. Being 52 years old, time flies real fast. This isn't just for men gray on my face right here. Yeah. So we got to look at the entire picture, yes. That's a 25 years of paying on that money.
Which brings up another, and I need to change the direction here because we've been on this topic for a while. So what I want to try and do is lasso you guys and bring you back in. Which brings up the other part of the discussion Mr. Brewster wanted to talk about was...
Don't blame it on me. Go ahead.
What's that? Telephone. You're on Talk of the Town.
Yeah, of course I am. You knew I'd call sooner.
Hey, I heard that's a 501c3.
Is that a 501c3?
Going there. I just want to tell you I agree with Tim, and I think the key really is we need to make ample parking, not just enough parking for people to go to the town hall. You need to make a large parking lot there, maybe a double-tiered thing next to the graveyard, or maybe in the back. Make it so that people can come. People are going to come to town hall. You're going to have the builders that are coming to get permits. You're going to have the people that work at town hall. You're going to need, like, I don't know how many spaces you need, but somebody needs to figure this out and figure out, all those people, they're going to go to lunch in town, they're going to do all that kind of stuff, they're going to move around in town, and they're going to bring other people to town. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, one of the proposals is moving Russell Street so that we can gain a whole bunch more and possibly do some underground parking, I heard. But that parking is one of the huge issues with the whole thing.
But I basically agree with Tim. However, on another note, I think the town needs to address their spending areas, like the medical benefits that are 80-20 instead of 50-50, like the private sector that nobody wants to talk about except for the man in the middle's wife. So,
Getting me in trouble.
The man in the middle, I like
Man
that.
in the middle.
Man in the middle.
Man, that's a good name for him. The man
The
in the
amigo in the middle.
the ego in the middle, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to talk about the spending side, and everybody says, oh, no, we've got spending totally under control.
Well, you look at salaries and what the medical costs are, yes.
We know that the benefits are better working at town hall than they might be working in the private sector in a lot of cases, and I think you need to address that. I recently got my tax bill, and my bookkeeper had done a spreadsheet for me of the properties that we own, and I was quite surprised to see that my personal tax bill at my house went up 22%, which I immediately went down and filed an abatement. But that being said, you know, then it makes you wonder, well, should I look at all the properties and make an abatement? But I didn't think they were particularly out of line. You know, they usually get up at town hall and they'll tell you, well, you know, the average house is $280,000 and your tax bill's going to go up $300 or $200 or whatever it's going to go up. But mine went up $1,200, so I was a little surprised, and it caught my eye. I normally don't even look at that.
Yeah.
David.
Yes.
How about when you come back, we have this discussion? All about this.
Oh, yeah, when I come back. That's right. I'm leaving this tonight.
Yeah, I know you are. I'm jealous, but anyways.
But you're leaving on Saturday, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't be jealous. He's going to Florida on Saturday.
Tim and I are staying here.
How can you be jealous?
I'm jealous where he's going.
Oh, you want to go where he's going?
Well, I wouldn't mind going where he's going.
All right, okay.
But, you know, it's David,
I'm the one that's jealous.
David, it's a valid... All right, you guys, shush. It's a valid point, David, and the parking issue, we need 600 some odd spaces in the downtown. The new parking garage isn't going to do it.
But us 200.
You bring up some very valid points, and I think that maybe we ought to get together and have this discussion.
Well, we can have lunch together downtown and maybe support some of those businesses.
Right.
And maybe we can bring the man in the middle.
Yeah.
And maybe he can bring somebody with him who can carry a little bit of...
Weight?
Don't get me in trouble.
A big stick?
Don't get me in trouble.
David,
Anyway,
thank you for what you're doing with this license plate.
Thing. You know, it's just a great thing, and I think we need to get it done. And I had put February 7th as my deadline for giving away the oil changes. And but I've had I had eight people come in today, and several of those people actually declined to take the oil change. They just thought it was a great thing, and they signed up
awesome.
for the plate. So
That's fantastic.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
it's all good.
I walked through the door to get the sign, and Mark was awesome. He descended upon me with a pen and a form. And I said, Mark, I'm all set.
Yeah, I get them trained pretty good to do that, but I just think that if we push the thing, you know, we need to get it done now so that we can get the residual income from the state now, not 2 years from now.
You're doing a great thing, David.
Yeah, thank you for all you do, David.
Thank you.
And I'll admit that my brother-in-law is the head of the committee, Brian McGuire, so I'm trying to help him out a little bit, too.
Well, you stepped up to the plate, David.
As you often do.
You and your company and your family, you're doing an awesome job, and I'm very proud to say I know you.
Well, I'm proud to do it, and it's good for business because people hopefully they'll think well of me for doing it. And, you know, I'm not stupid. I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I think it's a great thing, and I'm not afraid to throw a few bucks at it because it's a worthwhile event, and it's going to be great. In 6 or 7 years, we're going to have the town's going to gain so much. The restaurants on the waterfront, I have to be careful what I say here, but
yes.
They should be kissing somebody's behind a little bit because those are the people that are going to make the money on this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to make money. People aren't going to come to town and stop at Cape Auto and get the car fixed.
No, they're not. Although I try to tell everybody to do that, David.
They're going to spend money in the restaurants. They're going to spend money in the
hotels
and all the stores.
They might need their computer fixed.
People should be stepping up to the plate.
You definitely love your community, David. There's no doubt about it. And thank you so much.
And thank you for the nickname, for the man in the middle.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, enjoy skiing, David.
Yep.
Always going skiing.
4 o'clock this morning. I'll see you then.
We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, bye.
Take care. Bye. Thanks for calling. So,
The man in the middle.
Yeah, the man in the middle.
All right, move on.
So, now, the other thing that you said, now, we've only got 6 more minutes left. See how fast this goes?
Especially when you're having fun.
I don't know what this guy's doing. I hear noises from back there in the dark.
You're hearing voices again.
Yeah, I think I am. So the other thing was that I got a phone call from somebody who I consider to be a mover and shaker in town. And he was telling me that he had an idea somebody gave him this idea from somebody else. I don't know its origin, but they're moving forward with forming a group to come up with a meals tax so that it will just be for the courthouse and nothing else. And it would have a sunset clause. Now, we all know sunset clauses really don't work, but there'd be a sunset clause for this tax to go away when the courthouse is paid for.
It was one of the complaints when it first came up, was that there was no sunset.
How do you feel? How do you feel about
I think
it?
the voters already turned down a meals tax.
They did.
Twice.
Twice.
So, and resoundingly correct?
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
But a lot of people, and some of which that are in this very room right now, one specifically behind the camera, he didn't like it because it had to do with 2020 and
The courthouse.
the courthouse. And there
the-
was something else. There was a third,
Burial Hill.
Burial Hill.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't put forth very well.
No, it wasn't. And I think a lot had to do with the messenger too, but I don't really know. But he's telling me that he's pretty much okay with it. Am I true, Steve? Yes, he's nodding yes. So I'm interested in, I know how the voters...
Can I ask the question?
I want you to ask the question.
Okay. First of all, it's been voted down twice. But
Twice.
I'm going to ask another question.
Okay.
We're going to create a sunset, which means the tax is all done at a certain point. And when that point is done, there's going to be another reason to create the meals tax.
Oh, that's why I winked
to keep
when
it going
I said...
forward.
Yep.
That's why I winked.
So now the sunset is done on the
Courthouse.
courthouse.
Yeah.
Let's continue this meals tax for another reason.
Yep.
Therefore, is it really
We'd have to re-vote on it.
to re-vote on it?
Yeah, GQ Public would have to re-vote on it.
I personally voted against it both times.
Yeah, I did too. I'm conflicted on this one, but one of the things that I think the discussion has to be is we need to find some better revenue streams for this. Whether we go to the state and get, historical preservation money or some other money. I know the CPC is giving a whole bunch of money,
$5 million.
$5 million for it.
Which is taxpayer money.
Which is taxpayer money. But it's the biggest thing I hear about this whole thing is that it's coming out of the taxpayers and they're not really keen on it. So another revenue stream, not necessarily the meals tax, but something, we got to start thinking outside the box because there's a lot of stuff coming down the pike. We've got 2 high schools that we're going to be paying for, and we've got to continually look at that pilot from
Entergy.
So there's a lot of
Spent fuel rods.
Entergy, you make me laugh. 5 more violations just last month.
Yeah.
Say goodbye.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. Guys.
Wow, jeez.
He went off. Did you see that? That was the man. That was the man on the outside.
That was the man on the other side. I might be the man in the middle, but he's the man on the outside.
We don't have enough time to go into that.
No, we don't.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
But there's
interrupt.
3 or 4 town meeting articles in regards to.
I was
the dry
tweeting, so I really wasn't
The
paying
dry
attention.
cash storage?
There's articles on the town meeting floor on dry cash storage and a few other issues to do with.
Somebody brought something up. I heard it in the selectmen's meeting last night.
Quickly before I left to come here in my Oregon Ducks, this is when my son goes to college.
And your
That's why I'm
pajama
wearing it.
bottoms.
Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, pajama bottoms. Thank you, though. You're not wearing your suit coat.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
make us look bad.
You
with
made
the
us
suit
look
coat.
bad.
So tonight I look bad.
No, you don't.
No,
trying to
we're
say?
not trying. We're not trying to say that.
You're here with your buds.
You look comfortable.
I am comfortable.
So you were starting to say.
I was comfortable in the suit and tie too, but that's okay.
We were.
I was trying to say is there's a 3 or 4 articles coming up on the town meeting floor, which I wasn't aware that there was going to be articles in regards to dry cask storage and the energy power plant, something to do with groundwater protection also. So.
Yeah, that's a whole other discussion.
It's a whole other discussion.
That's a whole other discussion.
Which we don't have time for.
No,
right?
you got time. Go ahead. I'll tell you when you have to
we
be
need
quiet.
about 25 minutes or more for that, if not a whole hour to discuss that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but by the time we do another Amigo show, you'll have forgotten that whole thing.
No, I won't.
No,
You sure?
Yeah,
I'm positive.
Because you know the next Amigo show is not going to be in February.
No, because you're going to be.
Yeah. He and I are going to be here.
We're going to be jealous.
Yeah,
He's
we're
not going to be here.
Right, exactly.
Right, yeah, I'm just not going to be here. That's the
He's
way
just
I'm
not
gonna
going to
leave it
be
on
here, right?
television, yes.
Oh, okay. Not going to be on television.
I'm not going to be on
You're
television.
going to be on television.
Are you going to take your
You're going
light
to be
with you?
busy
My wife and I are not going to be on television.
with different. You'll
Well,
be
maybe
involved
you'll
in.
be on
All
some
right,
other
I
station.
guess I have to wrap this up because these two guys are going to drive me insane. You know?
We're all going to come with flashlights next time.
I'm bringing mine.
You want to borrow this?
I got one for Christmas. It's not as nice as that, but
All right. So, one more time on the license plate. I want to talk about this.
501c3.
It's a 501c3.
grab his light from him.
I can hear that. It's bleeding through. 501c3. It's the 2020 license plate. You stop off at Cape Auto and tell them you want to buy your license plate. It's a 501c3. Goes to a very worthy cause, and you'll end up getting a gift certificate for a free oil change. Ends up costing $2 for a 2020 license plate. Okay, now, we've had a lot of fun here tonight. Make sure that you behave yourself, enjoy, try to stay warm. I want to thank my friend, Mr. Grandy. Thank you very
sir.
much for being
It was a
here
pleasure.
in your pajamas.
Yep.
Mr. Brewster, thank you for being here with
In the middle.
coffee on the floor.
Sweatshirt.
And we are just about going to go. We're down to the last 35 seconds. So I want you to stay warm, stay comfortable, enjoy yourself, and Karen and I will see you soon.
See you soon.
Take care. Good night now.